Regarded as Japan's best swordsman and one of the most legendary samurai who is unbeaten in over 60 duels, Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi became a Ronin after escaping death during the Battle of Sekigahara. He was a philosopher, artist, and well-versed Buddhist in addition to being a swordsman. Musashi left us 21 Dokkodo ideals before he died. These are timeless rules that might encourage us to live well even today. The majority, if not all, of these guidelines aid in the establishment of one thing: concentration. The trait of having a concentrated interest or activity on something is referred to as focus. Needless to say, concentration was an important aspect of Musashi's life, or what he did, referred to as the method, which is a life of continuous practice. His writings demonstrate that his life was centered on constraint, sacrifice, discipline, and self-control. All of these virtues were formed by or in support of the ability to concentrate. Musashi was obsessed with perfection on his skill while pursuing enlightenment through the way of the sword. In this video, we will be looking at number 8 to 13 of Musashi's 21 principles of the Dokkodo. This section will investigate how to live a life of utmost focus by following these principles. Please keep in mind that the elaborations in this movie are based on existing ideologies, as well as the author's own perspectives and logic, and are meant to serve as inspiration for modern living. Number 8. Never let a separation bring you down. Separation can occur in a variety of ways. We can be separated from someone temporarily due to travel, relocation, or permanently due to death. As a result of death, we can also become estranged from some goods, such as personal belongings or money. Most of us suffer when we are separated from what we love. We feel a deep attachment to the object or person from which we are separated, feeling of scarcity because we believe that what has been taken from us belongs to us and is a part of us. Possession is considered delusory in Buddhism. Many Buddhists believe that we do not genuinely possess anything other than our mental powers. Even our bodies aren't truly ours because we don't have complete control over them. Musashi, as a Ronin and a Buddhist, was undoubtedly aware of this delusion of possession as the weight of attachment to things and people. His path was one of seclusion and practice, therefore he couldn't afford to be sad by separations, since life is full of them. Everything comes and goes, whether it's people, things, or ideas, stuff, or wealth, particularly for a Ronin on the move. Attachment to the people he met and the places he saw would have resulted in a never-ending cycle of grief. Instead, as a Ronin, he had to accept the transient nature of everything, including himself. Death is the unavoidable end to life. Musashi noted in his Book of Five Rings that the warrior's path is the acceptance of the ending to life. A warrior's existence is surrounded by death. Death of the people he slays, death of the people he kills, that battle by his side, the individuals he failed to defend, and the chance of being killed. Musashi, more than anybody else, must have grasped that death awaits us all. We will have a better existence if we are conscious of this and embrace the impermanence of life when we come across it. Number 9. Resentment and complaining are neither appropriate for oneself nor for others. People frequently spend inordinate amounts of time resenting and whining concerning the world. It is quite simple to slip into the traps of bitterness and complaining. There's always something for someone with a critical eye and strong beliefs about how life should be to express dissatisfaction with. However, if we are constantly resentful of the world, it indicates that we are preoccupied with others rather than ourselves. Spending time resenting is a waste of time for someone who is committed to a life of continuous practice, and whining about the world or one's own life is harmful to everything around you. The world is out of your hands. People will constantly act in ways that violate our ethics and ideals. People will be foolish, harsh, and ungrateful. People will despise us, try to interfere with our life, treat us unfairly, and try to take advantage of us and eventually benefit from us. We do not receive equal portions of the pie. We are not all equally gifted, attractive, or healthy. Attempting to change this is a noble ideal generated by the human intellect, but it is nearly impossible to achieve because nature will always be fighting against us. We shouldn't spend too much time trying to improve the world, according to Buddhism. We should especially actually avoid resenting what is. Instead, it is smarter to concentrate on ourselves, to live the best life we can while being accepting to those who do not. Number 10. Do not let your feelings of passion or love guide you. In this example, Musashi appears to be referring to eros, which is a type of love inspired by lust. Buddhists refer to desire as romantic love. Romantic love is elevated to the rank of religion in many of today's civilizations. This human experience is virtually heavenly, making it worthy of our desire and sacrifice. Musashi would not have approved of the way we handle romantic love nowadays. This was most likely due to the fact that lust and love are so distracting. Not only was it detrimental to his progress as a swordsman, but he was also a Buddhist. Buddhists, on the other hand, reject the sacralization of romantic love. In reality, they are well aware of the consequences of following it. Love and lust, like any other emotion, can overpower us. However, we have the option of engaging with these feelings or not. Instead of being led astray by romance, it would be prudent not to abandon our ability to think rationally in order to keep grounded and on track. Number 11. Have no preferences on anything. The issue with preferences is that we develop a dependence on the status of things. We are delighted when we come upon something we prefer, but when we get something we don't want or even despise, we are dissatisfied. Because we have no control over what the environment throws at us, we will give outside events control over our mood based on our desires. Our calmness will be determined by whether or not the conditions are desirable. This is a somewhat poor manner of going about things. Musashi encountered a wide range of people, objects, and events, but he had to remain focused. He needed a calm head to keep him on track. His practice would have suffered as a result of his strong preferences, so it's best to set our preferences aside and accept whatever fate hands us and make the most out of it. Number 12. Be unconcerned about where you reside. Musashi traveled throughout Japan as a Ronin, staying in a variety of locations ranging from castles to caverns. But no matter where he lived, his way remained at the center of his life. People nowadays place a high value on their living surroundings. They are very concerned about their homes, the community in which they live, and the type of environment they are living in. When we become overly attached to certain living arrangements, we become nervous. These conditions are jeopardized. When our living condition is actually dangerous, we don't have the luxury of leaving. However, it is generally just unhappiness with current circumstances that motivates people. Look for another place to live. Some people become quickly tired and dissatisfied with their existing residence and assume that moving will solve their problems and will alleviate this unhappiness. Unfortunately, the sense of fulfillment that comes with relocating is only fleeting because we always bring ourselves with us wherever we go. Satisfaction and dissatisfaction arise from within, not from elsewhere. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where we live as long as we are happy with ourselves. Number 13. Do not chase after the flavor of wonderful food. Many, if not most people, enjoy the pleasures of the tongue when eating a tasty meal. Some people spend entire evenings drinking and dining, consuming drink after drink and course after meal. But food lovers, beware, this behavior has drawbacks. Miyamoto Musashi discourages people from pursuing nice cuisine. His particular reasoning for this is unknown. However, when we consider what other philosophers have said, we might get an idea from what they had to say about it. Food was a problem for the ancient Stoics, for example. People were encouraged to eat simply. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, noticed that as individuals become accustomed to eating fine foods, they lose appreciation for simple dishes when they consume more expensive meals. When our appetites are oversaturated, we seek more extravagant and stimulating foods. Immoderate eating habits can easily escalate into gluttony, which can lead to health issues. A glutton enjoys and appreciates eating, whereas the contrary may be true. Most voracious eaters and drinkers do not take the time to consume attentively and with appreciation because of the dish in front of them. Instead, we may eat mindfully and in moderation and train ourselves. not to succumb to desires. As a result, we will be less addicted to taste and our eating cravings will lessen. We would also be less prone to overeating. Finally, the goal of eating is nourishment, as humans require fuel to live and thrive in this world full of adventures. We have covered just one section of the principles Miyamoto Musashi followed in order to progress through life with focus and drive. If you enjoyed this, definitely stay tuned for the continuation of this series. I hope you all learned something new today. Thank you all for listening.